Welcome back to my channel, Why Do People Mask Suicidal Thoughts? The month of May is observed for mental health awareness. It is my goal this month to come on the channel so we can openly discuss topics that are considered taboo, which are suicide, suicidal thoughts, mental health, mental illness, and depression. I want to use my testimony and my platform so we can begin to tear down the stigma regarding mental health and encourage people that are suffering and struggling with their mental health to give them hope and inspire them to speak out. Today I decided to write a letter to the pharmaceutical industry, an open letter. As many of you are aware, on some of my previous videos, I myself am challenged with high cost medications that I need to keep me stable. So I wanted to write a letter, an open letter to the pharmaceutical industries. And I said, I want to live. I have entrusted your company, your scientists, with my life and began taking your medications to assist me with my condition, and I have been a faithful consumer for 12 long years. I was diagnosed with a mental illness in 2010. I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. I was told about having the new mother bliss and having the feelings of joy and love that were just unexplainable. However, only to be released from the hospital, hoping that my symptoms will go away, and my hopes to finally feel that new mother bliss that everyone told me about. But I waited for that day, and it didn't happen for me. Instead, I had thoughts of suicide, depression, anxiety, psychosis, and hallucinations. All those words sum up to become postpartum depression with psychosis. That was my diagnosis. Wow. That was devastating to me. After 39 years of finally becoming a mother for the first time, I was faced with one of the hardest things that I had to encounter in life. Being diagnosed with a mental illness and having a baby, which was supposed to be the happiest moment in my life. Not knowing my destiny and whether if there was even a treatment plan made available for me. However, I was greeted with a team of specialists who were psychologists, psychiatrists, and a mental health therapist who gave me hope that there was a host of medications to help treat me and keep me stable to live. Also, I was told by the team of specialists if I had the resiliency to fight, I could live and become stable, and it was possible for me to learn to live with my mental illness. But one main ingredient was the key, was finding the right medications to unlock the door. Medications after medications, inpatient, outpatient treatment plans, ECT shock therapy, which was inducing a seizure to wake up the endorphins in my brain to assist lifting the depression. Months seems like years until that day that I will never forget. And it is permanently, forever etched in my mind. The day that I lost hope and attempted to die by committing suicide, to be awakened after 2 days later. While my faith was not determined by man or determined by my own act to die by suicide, it was determined by my higher power that I call God. My lungs was filled by God's breath and giving me another opportunity at life. A gasp of air that I described as like a newborn baby breathing for the first time. I want to live. I said when I was awakened by God, and I thanked him for allowing me another shot at life. But at the time, I didn't know how, as the treatment plan wasn't working. But I vowed to God, myself, and my son that I would not give up again, and I would fight like Daniel did in the lion's den. After my original diagnosis of postpartum depression with psychosis, my final diagnosis was bipolar depression and an anxiety disorder with a psychotic feature. As much as I wanted to deny the diagnosis, it was apparent that my symptoms of having episodes of mood swings, which consist of extreme highs and extreme depression lows. I had to finally accept my condition. Finally, after trying a host of medications and continued therapy and seeing my psychiatrist, the right key was found to unlock the door to my mental illness treatment plan. A cocktail of medications was determined for my condition and my determination that I had to fight another day. And those days have added up to 12 long years. At the beginning of my letter, I stated I entrusted your company, your scientists, with my life. I am the first one to say that I appreciate your company and your scientists that have created life-saving medications for people that are ill. And please don't feel sorry for me. As I have learned in life, bad things happen to good people. According to the book of Job in the Bible, 14:1, man born of woman is short of days and full of trouble. So you see, I accept my condition as it is my destiny. By no means am I asking you to take on my religion or use my faith to somehow change your company initiatives and methodologies. While battling my mental illness, I missed my son's first crawl, his first word, his first walk, his first haircut, his first Christmas, his first New Year's. While I can go on and on and on of the milestones that I've missed, my point is, I don't want to miss any more significant milestones. Finally, with my faith and determination to live the right cocktail of medicines created by your pharmaceutical industries, the door was finally unlocked for me and opened, and I had optimism about my future. I want to live. But after 12 long, hard years, after losing my home on the golf course I worked so hard for, my career that I loved and served them well for over 2 decades, my relationship, my savings account, all because I was diagnosed with a mental illness. But that's okay, because when I look into my son's eyes, the joy and the love that I have for him is undescribable. Finally, I know and feel that new mother bliss that everyone talked about. So to be quite honest, if I had to do it all over again, I would choose him. I would choose becoming a mother, because this has been the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I finally know my own strength is a song that's Whitney Houston song, and it's one of my favorite songs. It encourages me to let me know that I found my own strength. It is worth losing it all to have my son to live for, who gives me the reason that I want to live. However, over 12 years being a consumer of your prescription drugs that has helped me to live, it has come to a time that I can no longer afford the medications that my body needs to function and stay stable. Lately, I have become more depressed to find ways to continue to pay for my high-cost medications, as I need them to live for me and my son and to be safe in the community, because I want to live. But I have a dream like Dr. Martin Luther King did back in his speech in 1963 when he said, "I have a dream." Well, you see, pharmaceutical industries, I have a dream too. I have a dream that one day we will not lose any more lives because the American people who are ill and rely on medications don't have to die because they can't buy the medications for their illness. I have a dream that people don't have to choose to eat and lose weight because they choose not to eat and take their medications because they want to live. I have a dream that people don't have to sell their belongings or move with friends and family just to get their medications. I have a dream that people don't have to skip taking their medications because they can't afford to take them every day because they don't have the money to get the full supply subscribed by the doctors. I have a dream that people don't have to cash in their kids' college fund just to buy their medications, and when it comes for their kids to graduate and go to college, all of the funds have been exhausted because the parents wanted to live and had to use their money to buy the medication. I have a dream that people don't have to call friends and family who are already struggling to pay their own bills because with high inflation, they have to stay afloat. So we won't have to ask them for assistance to help buy our medications. I have a dream that people don't have to go to food banks just to buy their medications and get food that it's old or not nutritious for them. I have a dream that people don't have to sell their bodies and steal just to pay for their medications because they just want to live. I have a dream that people don't have to sell all their assets just to buy their medications. I have a dream that the little assets that I have, which includes me renting a house, clothing, some old furniture, a couple of TVs, and a couple of old cars. The only thing that I have left. so I don't have to sell what I have left just to get my meds. Because after all, once it's gone, I would only have a dream. What is your dream for us going forward? I hope it's a dream that people can begin to have hope one day that we can get our medications without the fear of selling our belongings. After all, once the assets are gone, the only thing left would just be a dream. I have a dream that one day my son don't have to bury this letter in my casket only as a dream. I want to believe that dreams do come true. Isn't it enough that we, the ill, are already suffering from our condition? Now we have to suffer also to figure out ways to pay for our medications. So I'll end you with this. I'll have that dream until one day my maker calls me home. I have a dream.